memo.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner,
Call, please.
Sure.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Commissioner Harper Pedersen and Commissioner Sanfilippo are excused. Commissioner Divney,
Present.
Commissioner Marsters,
Present.
Chair Clapper.
Present. Public comment. Public comment is limited to items not on the agenda. The Commission may briefly respond to statements made or questions posed as allowed by the Brown Act, Government Code Section 54954.2. However, the Commission's general policy is to refer items to staff for attention or to have a matter placed on a future Commission agenda for a more comprehensive action or report. Is there anyone here that would like to make a public comment on the item that's not on the agenda? Seeing none, we will move on to the approval of the minutes. Any corrections or questions about the minutes from the May 7th meeting?
No.
Okay, could I have a motion for approval, please?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, new business. One item under new business. General plan, excuse me, conformity determination for the capital improvement program for fiscal year 2012 to 2014. Staff report, please.
Good evening, members of the Planning Commission. My name is Jill Lewis, and I will present to you the fiscal year 2012 to 2014 capital improvement program and how it conforms to the San Carlos General Plan. You may recall seeing this in previous years. The capital improvement program project selection and funding relies on City Council recommendations. The City Council has already seen some of these projects, and they will again review the recommendations for capital budget projects on June 11th, 2012, for ultimate adoption on June 25th, 2012. The Planning Commission reviews projects to ensure consistency with the general plan. There was a typo in the staff report when considering the amount of total projects. I believe it said that there were 46 projects considered, when in reality it should be 33. This was correctly reflected in the resolution and the matrix. The dissolution of the redevelopment agency effective February 1st of this year means that the projects within this 2-year cycle are funded by 5 capital project funds versus 7, you may recall, in previous years. Projects formerly funded by the Redevelopment Agency Capital Projects Fund 83 have either been discontinued or proposed for funding by another source. Additionally, there are no projects within this budget cycle proposed for funding by the Parking in Lieu Fund. State law requires the Planning Commission make a determination that the city's capital improvement program for the next fiscal year is consistent with the general plan. And you'll note that this is the first year in a while where the budget cycle is a 2-year cycle. Staff found the 33 proposed projects within this 2-year budget cycle conform to various policies, goals, and actions within the land use element, the circulation and scenic highways element, the environmental management element, the housing element, and community safety and services element. So the findings that you're asked to make are that the fiscal year 2012 to 2014 capital improvement program conforms to the City of San Carlos general plan, and that the fiscal year 2012 to 2014 capital improvement program includes reasonable means for implementing the general plan. So staff would recommend that you adopt the resolution and also to determine that the capital improvement program for fiscal year 2012 to 2014 is in conformity with the general plan. And this is the formal motion should you choose to make it. And at this point, I can take any questions you may have of staff.
Do the commissioners have any questions for staff? Mr. Dibney.
Just a minor QQ. Item number C9754, it's on the last page, actually. The Cherry Street BMR housing. Is that for 1234 Cherry, or is that the one across on the west side of that alley? And is that tied into Wheeler, is my next question.
I don't believe so.
No, it's a standalone project.
Okay.
It is, it could be two properties. Currently, it is one, maybe rebuilt, which is HIP housing, I think.
Right.
Acquisition of any additional land has not been achieved, but it foresees that there might be a larger project of about 33 units, 34, something like that.
Okay, thank you. That's all I had.
Commissioner Marsters?
The question I had was concerning our previous meeting where we discussed parking on South Laurel and whether it's appropriate to suggest that something be included in this, or when will we be getting information about how to deal with that situation?
My update later, I'll give it now.
Okay.
So Commissioner Harper Pedersen is on a task force for the parking study. The new council has said, let's do an analysis and make the analysis broader and actually look at an extended downtown area. We as staff need to go back to the contracting consultant and have them rewrite their proposal. Then that will get approved again, and then we'll pull this the task force together along with the consulting firm. But they'll basically be doing data analysis first. Regarding a planning commission interest in looking at any additional parking, there's two ways you can do it. As individuals, you could write to the Public Works Director and ask that be taken to Transportation and Circulation Commission for review, or if you want to consider it as a commission, then you would ask us to agendize it at one of your a meeting such as this. You'd say, please agendize it for a future meeting. I'd suggest we kind of go into this process to see how far down South Laurel this study gets extended, and see if you still have issues or if that satisfies what you would like addressed.
Okay. I think what you're suggesting is that not be included as part of this, but that we'll discuss this a little bit later.
Oh, yeah, so, sorry. In previous years, have we asked for your interest in projects to be in the capital improvement program? Typically, it's done within the staff and at the council retreats, and they say, this is how much money we have to spend, and this is our whole entire list of things we want to do. And many of them get pushed out to the out years. Some of them get in the current, this year, 2-year budget. So the traffic study was in a previous CIP, which was about $98,000. So there's sufficient funds, we believe, to look at a broader range of
Even if it were
Parking, I'm
broken
sorry,
up
parking.
into looking at the downtown and looking at
Well, we'll
South
come
Laurel as
back if
another
we need
piece.
to, if we need
Okay.
to augment it, but we have to have the discussion with the consulting team.
And I think from, given the narrow focus that it's capital improvement, that this is the horse right here that'll get it done. We need to decide what's going actually into the cart. So
Right.
I think the separate track is probably the way to go.
Thank you. That's all the
Any other
questions I
questions?
had.
Okay. I don't have any questions. So any public comment on this agenda item? No? Okay. Very good. So,
I'll make the motion.
are you ready to move into?
You ready to, it didn't sound like there was any.
Resuming the close, I like it.
Okay. Sorry.
A motion would be really
I will move to close the public hearing.
Well, it's not a public
Not a
hearing.
Public hearing?
It's just new business, so we don't have to close it.
So I don't need to close it, anything, okay.
Make that motion.
So. Okay. I'm going to read this one up here because I can see it a little bit easier. I move that the Planning Commission adopt a resolution of the Planning Commission and determine that the capital improvement program for the fiscal year 2012 to 2014 is in conformity with the general plan based on the findings and for the reasons incorporated in the staff report.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that was unanimous for the three of us on that. And this was discussed at the last city council meeting. It was a study session for the city council, and then it will come back to them in June. But if you are interested in more information, there are attachments from the city council meeting with all the budget information. It shows all several years, and you can also see which things were approved in previous years that have not been completed. Just, in case you need something to help lull you to sleep.
That's on the public record.
Yeah.
Okay. Reports, correspondence, and general information. First item, report on recent city council actions.
Yes, well, as the chair reported, the council did consider, and as Jill reported, the study session on the CIP, and also they have considered the, which was kind of a second version of the operating budget, the rest of community development, housing, and economic development division, since we no longer have a redevelopment agency, and they gave tentative approval to go ahead with creating those two divisions within our department. And as you've probably been reading, the council has had several meetings to discuss the vacancy. And that's it.
So, and I can just add to that, all the work plans are presented from all of the commissions, and the council did approve our work plan. They didn't make any changes to it. And let's see. Okay, any other planning commission comments or reports?
No.
I will let you know that I went on the Affordable Housing Week bus tour. And it was, I'm going to be forwarding an email that has a summary of some of the information to be read or to use as material to lull yourself to sleep as you see fit. But it was interesting. Many of them are projects that without redevelopment money, they will not be happening again. But it was interesting to see.
I've been on a couple of those. So,
Have you? Okay.
yeah.
This was the first time that I had done that, and so that was interesting.
They're eye-opening.
Eye-opening in what way?
In that, looking at where they are, the difference in them, looking at them from an economic development perspective and using redevelopment agency money, and eye-opening that opportunities like that are not going to be available in the future.
One of them was interesting, the one by Mid-Peninsula Housing, because it's going to incorporate retail in with it, and I don't think they have done too many of those. So it seems like I had a couple other riveting things that I hadn't written down, so I'll bring those back in a future meeting if they come back to me. Any significance? Okay, correspondence. Planning staff comments, reports, and updates of current projects.
Yes, I reported on how you address the Transportation and Circulation Commission. That was a request of your meeting last time. And also regarding the parking study. But late breaking news today that we thought maybe that the interviews for Planning Commission were going to be pushed out into June. They're now back to being May 29th. However,
Right.
we have no agenda items on June 4th, so we will postpone the seating of new commissioners on June 21st. And we will invite those outgoing commissioners to attend if they so choose.
Okay, thank you. And then we'll have elections at that meeting, right?
We'll have the election of officers at
members,
that
okay.
meeting as well.
Okay, very good. That was the one other thing I wanted to ask about, because I know that date's been going back and forth. Different things. Okay, any other comments?
I have some comments.
Are they repeatable here?
Absolutely, and they're on the record. And please note the AV folks that actually have the microphone right here, so they can be heard. But I did want to close out saying thank you to staff, both the current staff, prior staff, from Liz on down to the current folks. It's been a pleasure, and same with the commissioners. The current crop, the prior crop, starting with Steve Preem, Joanna Wassa, and many other unnamed ones right now, but we've had a very good crew, especially Alex Phillips, over the years that have truly reflected what I think is a very responsible, property rights oriented, trying to balance those rights through the decisions, and that comes from City Council, through us and staff, and I think it makes for a very predictable process overall, which makes San Carlos pretty lucky to have some good development projects, hopefully some more on the horizon, but it's been a lot of fun. Thanks.
I've truly enjoyed sitting up here with you, all kidding aside. I think that the Planning Commission is losing two, including Steve Sanfilippo, very excellent planning commissioners, and I've enjoyed working with you. And thank you very much for all that you've done.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really been a pleasure to work with you. I appreciate your sense of humor. It's great. And your professionalism and your way of balancing, keeping in mind the issues, the process. It's really, really been super, and it's helped to shape these first 3 years that I'm here for. And I feel it has made me a much better planning commissioner to have had your influence. The humor part I haven't quite decided on yet, but
It's an acquired,
now that I won't
it's an
have
acquired
to
taste.
It grows on you.
compete with you anymore, who knows, maybe I'll be able to polish that a little bit better. So,
Great.
but thank you very much, and I will plan on voting for you for the state senate, which I understand you've taken the papers out now. Oh, you hadn't heard about that?
No,
You've taken up a
not yet.
petition. We're trying to move you out of town, is what it is.
Nice. Subtle anchoring. Nice. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. And we hope that you are available to come back in June.
And this time
to-
you'll be able to heckle us from the podium down there.
Is it true? I heard that there is no time limit on public comment during that session. Just an internet. It's just an internet rumor.
I think actually we are changing the rules where we impose time limits
But only on certain
the way we've
individuals.
always supposed to be doing instead of letting people speak. But
Very
we'll
nice.
wait and see.
Great.
That'll
Thank you.
that'll make you come back because you'll be so curious to see if we changed anything.
Sleepless nights.
Yes, okay. Thank you very much again.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. This meeting's adjourned.
Outstanding.